How many bank accounts do you need? We're going to talk about the essentials and what my setup looks like so that you can try and see if that could work for you. Stay tuned. Hola, hola. Thank you so much for being here. I am happy to be back on the mic. It's been a while, but I'm back, and I actually had a couple of friends that asked me, what does your setup look like as far as your bank accounts, how you manage your own money? And I thought that would be a great topic to go over with you guys and kind of see how I manage money and how it's evolved over the years. So first off, I have two different banks that I bank with, and I have my credit union and I work with Ally. This is not sponsored, but I'd love to be sponsored. So with Ally, that's where I have my emergency fund, and that's like a high yield savings account. So I get money every month, and it's a great place to just park your money short term. Or really, it's like anything you might need in the next 5 years, you should have it in a high yield savings account. When you lock it up into a CD or make it an actual investment, you're risking losing it. You're risking, having to pay fees if you have a CD. So I love to keep that liquid and available should I need it. So in my regular bank, like through my credit union, I have my regular checkings and a regular savings. And that's about it. I mean, I have my business bank account there too, but I'm going to just focus on my personal. What does my personal look like? The reason I really like Ally is because I am able to park that money there. And if I need it, I can get it sent to my credit union within like 2 to 3 business days. So that's really nice because it's like accessible, but not super accessible. I have to kind of think about it, and it takes planning to get the money out. So as far as like what my day-to-day looks like, so I have 2 checking accounts in my credit union. One is where all the income comes in and most of the bills come out, or I would say all of the bills come out. And then I have another checking account, which is what I call my groceries and gas. But it really is just like, this is the money I'm going to use every single week. So like like I said, groceries and gas comes out of there, and anything else like eating out, any fun we might have, I transfer it there. So it doesn't mingle with my main account where all the bills come in and out and the income earnings are coming in and out of. And the reason why I like to have these separate is because I just constantly keep an eye on that groceries and gas bill. It's what I call my small account. And that's the one I check almost every day. I check to see where I'm at. And I don't super crazy budget like to the T in that one. Like I'm just like, okay, I'm just keeping an eye on it. And in that account, there's a set amount that gets transferred every Friday. My week starts on Friday and ends on Thursday. And the reason for that is because I get paid every other Friday in my day job. And so it's easy for me to make my week Friday through Thursday. And so like for us, we put $500 into that account every Friday. And that amount has been lower the past few years and has gone up as inflation has gone up and things have cost more. So I've had to adjust that throughout the years. Right now we're at $500 a week. And some months are really good, and that's sufficient for us to live and have fun and go grocery shopping and gas and eating out and any other fun activity we want to do on the weekend. But there are some months, like this month in June, where I feel like it's a little tight, and I'm constantly looking at that. By the end of the weekend, I'm like, okay, what do I absolutely need to buy so that I see if I have enough? And it's really interesting, but it really keeps me accountable, and it holds me to, if I need to pull more money from the main account into the groceries and gas, that's going to mess up like the whole plan that I have on like how much I save and what my goals are. And that's like on the main account. I have this little account to keep me accountable. I don't like to pull out cash anymore. I've kind of shifted from that. So that's where I have this small account. And so if you are not a fan of the envelope system, if you are not a fan of going to the bank every single week and pulling your cash out, try this small account thing where you have another checking account, you transfer money to it every week, and see if you can manage your money a little better. And what it helps me do is it helps me keep my promises. So if I need to pull more money from the main account into the smaller account, I have to adjust. I have to go back and say, okay, I can't save this much this month. I'm going to have to deduct it from the savings, or I'm going to have to deduct it from some sort of other goal that I might have in mind. And so that's what makes this really helpful for us, because my husband and I both have access to it. We're constantly looking at what that looks like, and it makes it easy. I haven't really pulled out cash in the last few months, and this system seems to be working for us. So I just thought I'd share it. I was sharing with a couple of girlfriends, and they're like, you need to talk about this on the podcast. I'm like, okay. So this is an alternative to the envelope system. And now the Ally account is really nice because it has buckets where you set your money. And I'm going to show this on Instagram, like what it looks like and how you can have a savings in there, but yet break it up by different buckets. So like I have an emergency fund bucket. I have my dad actually gave me some money to put away. So I have a bucket for him where he, just has a couple $100 that he wants me to put away for him. And I don't like to keep cash at home. So I send it off to the bank so that I could just manage it from there. And if he needs it, he knows he needs to give me like a week's notice for me to get him his money. And I have a couple of like a car fund in there. I have just a savings account just for little things. It's kind of like a savings account for our savings account. Like I try not to touch our emergency fund. So I have a tiny little account where if things fluctuate, I can pull from there and it doesn't touch our emergency fund. So it's really like nice to keep things organized and really see, when you see the amount of money that's in there, you can see the breakdown of what each of those things is meant for. And that keeps things very clean. I love to keep things organized, so that just helps my brain too. But that's what the bank accounts look like for us. I want to know, what does it look like for you? And do you have multiple banks that you bank with? I've seen that a couple of my clients have like 3 to 4 banks that they have, and they have a system, right, that works for them. And then there's people that have multiple accounts, but their check gets divided so much that they've lost track. And so I just want to know, like, what works for you? What is the best solution, so that I can talk about this here on the podcast. And if you're on YouTube, leave a comment below. What works for you? How many bank accounts do you have? And what does your system look like? I'd love to hear what that looks like. Tell me in the comments below, what do you want me to talk about when it comes to money? What do you want me to touch on? Do you have a question? Leave it in the comments and I will get back to you. And maybe the next episode is about what you asked about. Thanks so much for listening. See you all next week.